up, waiting on an important call. So I thought I would hop in here for a few minutes, right? I thought I would hop in here a few minutes, guys. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, drinking my morning coffee. Thought I would check in, see if anybody's up. Anybody wants to chat for a moment here? Talk about some things. I have a semi-important call I'm kind of waiting on, so I'm not going to go train yet. Also, be nice if it warms up just a hair more before I get out there and do all that. Squat day today. So, what the heck? Let's see if we get anyone here. This is what I look like in the mornings, first thing in the morning. Usually I've eaten by the time I'm in these, so I'm a little bit fuller. So I train fasted, obviously, in the mornings, just black coffee. So, I mean, this is kind of my routine. And yes, this is a massive coffee cup. This is one of the famous ones I've had for years and years. All right. So, see what people have going on here. Any questions, comments? I don't know how long I'm going to be in here. I literally could be in here another 30 seconds. At what age do you start lifting? I've made whole videos on that. It's kind of hard for me to answer. All right. Like I made a video on that long ago because people were asking me that. And I'm like, well, wait, no, I did lift a little bit here. I did take this class in high school. They made us weight lift when I was 12. And then I went and did a trainer for a little while. And then I forgot about all that. We did have a little bit, a couple weights at home I played with. So, what do we mean by training? Like getting under a squat bar? About 25 years ago. But, well, no, that's not even true. I guess 12, but I didn't lift consistently. I didn't, really get in shape all through that. But as far as me actually taking training really serious is something that I did with a structured program, like going to a gym, about 25 years ago. So my early 20s at some point, ballpark, 21-ish, right? 22. I don't know. Again, we're going, when we start going back further than 20 years, getting exact numbers is not going to be easy, especially when I'm not having my coffee yet. All right. And you guys shouldn't even be worried about stuff like that. Just get in and train. People spend too much time with their own stuff. Did I get too late of a start? Well, if you can't build a time machine, then start this morning. I mean, that's all you can do. There's no peak age for strength. So again, a lot of guys worry, and here's what I would tell you. If I give you a number there and it's too late for you to reach that, what's that going to do to you psychologically? Have I harmed you by doing that? Have you harmed yourself by trying to research it? You will absolutely limit your own potential below your potential. You have to be aware of that. There is no peak age, Maddie. So, because Maddie, what are you asking me? I need you to restart the question and put it in a context. Are you asking how many years this occurs under training? Or are we talking about just for the average person walking around? Talking about the average male who's never lifted a weight in his life? Because that's what our research is on. So an average male who does not use any exogenous hormones, including HRT, who does not work out, mid-20s. Right? Mid-20s, approximately 25. And then it declines from there every year. A microscopic amount. Unless you do something to change it. So pretty much it. That's why we work out. Now, let's say you started working out at 25. It would go up every year, possibly for the next 20 years, right? Or longer. Again, there's too many variables at play. Okay, understand? So again, you have to put these things in context. But if you're asking, were people who lift, where does that occur? We don't know. There's never been large-scale studies with 1 million people to determine that. There's been studies on millions of people who are just the regular general population in mid-20s, right? Which again is why it is so critical that you get in the gym, especially after that age. I mean, ideally, you should be training early teens, you should be lifting weights. Like that really produces phenomenal lifetime results. But definitely by 25, man, that's when you're declining. You really need to be in there consistently, not just occasionally going to the gym. It would behoove you. Okay. Behoove you to do so. All right. And one person asking, coffee chats, I think, throw people off. They're not ready for this. They're not expecting me. Plus, again, who knows where people are. This is a lot of times people are going to be at work early because most of my followers on this page, like 70% of my people are in the US at this point. Your wrist size, I don't know. All right. Don't have that big a wrist though. But who cares? See what I mean, Letty? I've seen people worry about things like that. Literally try to decide that their wrist size is going to determine their maximum muscle. Again, that's also a great way to make sure that you don't make gains. When people, as soon as people, and we have studies on that, by the way. We have studies on that people who believe if they're lied to, and researchers tell them that they had studies showing that they had bad genetics for gaining muscle. Do you know that even if they did no genetic testing of any type and just tell them that they gain less muscle automatically? And that if you lie to them and tell them they have superior genetics for gaining muscle, so if you take 3 groups and you do them that way, like one group is just placebo, one group you tell they have bad genetics, another group they have good genetics, they gain muscle according to what lie they were told. How's that for an interesting study? That's fascinating. So when I tell people that you should probably have a delusional level of self-belief, right? That's supported by research. You should literally believe that you're going to be great. If you go off the research, you will literally gain more muscles because you were delusional. That is what the research says. And the less you believe in yourself, the less results you will get, no matter what. So what you're even told matters, right? By experts, because then you'll believe it. It's fascinating stuff. The power of belief. The power of belief. It's an amazing thing. All right. We only have one person talking so far. I'm almost done with this cup of coffee because I don't know how long we're going to be in here. So people might be missing their chance. But we'll do more of these later. And it's still cold out there. I have to get up here and squat here shortly. I have to get under that squat bar, do some legs. Then go do the cardio. We got to do the stuff, right? We got to do the stuff. Yeah, this is my second cup of coffee. Second one of these massive cups. Yes, the cup is that big. It's not an illusion. It is a massive cup. So if you want it for scale, this is my regular. I've had people tell me I should drink from smaller cups so that I look bigger instead of using the massive cup, but that's okay. Trickery, guys, trickery. But when you meet some of these other influencers in person, he's like, man, they should really have a tiny little cup. That's what I would recommend. I think people who forget over one limb being a little stronger, they also make less gain. No, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, people who obsess over even their symmetry or the same thing, they try to balance it on their big lifts and asymmetry in their skeleton. It's like, man, you run into problems real fast with your gains when you start doing that. In fact, you increase your risk of injury because, again, unless you're trying to be Mr. Olympia, like if you don't mind only winning local bodybuilding shows and barely earning your pro card, you probably don't need to worry about that sort of thing. You're just trying to get on the cover of the magazine, it's probably not that important. Poor Medi, I already told him I have no idea what my wrists are. He's going to keep asking. Maybe this is a communication issue, and that's okay. He's asked me multiple times what my wrist size is, and I've already said I don't measure it. I have no idea, and I don't care. So he's just going to keep asking. Hey, Medi, if you send me $100 right now, I'll go get a tape and measure my wrist. That's it, because I really don't care. But it seems to be really, 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 really important to you. So I'll give you this opportunity. How's that sound? Oh, but I'm not going to do it for less than $100 USD. Okay. But TKS, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely truth to that. Because then what happens when they do that? Then they start worrying about that muscle imbalance, and they've created a slight imbalance to match their skeleton to keep them balanced when they do the big lifts, right? And then they end up trying to force to balance it visually when we all have asymmetrical skeletons, and it ends up potentially causing imbalances that cause risk of injury under the big loads. This sort of nonsense is why people get hurt. And again, they're not, and oftentimes what people forget with those perceived imbalances, right? It's only in your head half the time too. Most people don't even notice it unless they're really, really critiquing your body at a serious level. They don't notice that you have one limb that's slightly bigger or stronger than the other. I mean, the only exception would literally be someone like me who has had a chunk of their bicep cut out by a doctor. And has had the tendon reattached, and even then it's not that severe, and that is not a training or genetic, that is an extreme case, right? So you can see the scar there. I mean, so a chunk of my bicep was removed about the size of my thumb 20 something years ago. And it's barely noticeable. So I think guys freak out over this stuff, but it's equally strong. My left bicep now, when I do a preacher curl, sometimes I can get one more rep than the right occasionally. So, it's interesting how the body compensates. Interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna let Medi keep going. It's all good. Also, guys, I'm still running the Cyber Monday slots. I want to fill in some slots this month for clients before the big January hits. All right, fill some in. So anybody interested, have those open. I'm also still doing the calls at $50. I've closed a couple of those. So anyone who wants to do video consultations for an hour for me to go over whatever you need, they're still at $50. And those are always fun. I like doing those. few people jumped on that already because they're like, at half price, I'm going to grab those. So I've already done like 3 of those last week or so. But yeah, plenty of more of those open. I can work those in pretty easy. All right. What else? It's going to be slow. It's not going to be many people then. It's a little early for most people, or they're at work during this time. Probably do these a little sooner in the day if I do these. But it's getting to be about 8 o'clock, so didn't have much happening here. I'm going to wind this down. And I will talk to you guys next time. Let me give you guys another forearm shot before we go.